Welcome back to a bonus episode of ACA Cast this week. I am your host. My name is Alex Vito. Thank you for listening today. ACA Cast is the official podcast of ACA International, the leading voice of the accounts receivable management industry. In today's episode, this is the second part of getting to know the ACA International's compliance department. But before we start today, the content presented in today's episode is for general references only. ACA is always ahead of the curve on the constant changes in our industry, and that's why we're proud to present a new education track focusing on some of the most pressing issues of the receivable management industry is currently facing. Join us at ACA's Fall Forum and Expo on November 6th to 8th in Chicago. For more information, go to our website. We have a really exciting interview today between ACA attorney member Monica Littman and ACA's compliance analyst Andrew Pavlik, discussing compliance, proposed debt collection rules, and a little behind the scenes at ACA's compliance department. So enjoy.
Hello, everyone out there. My name is Monica Littman. I'm an attorney at the law firm of Fineman Krekstein Harris, which is located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am very happy to be here today to launch a new ACA podcast series where we are going to get to know the great team in ACA's compliance department. They are the people that do all the behind-the-scenes work, developing ACA search point documents, ACA guides to the FDCPA, the FCRA, and the state guide to collection laws, among other pieces of bringing us critical news and case law developments. So today I have the great privilege of introducing you to Andrew Pavlik, who is a compliance analyst with ACA International. And thanks, Andrew, for joining me for this inaugural episode.
Thanks for interviewing me. It's great to be here.
Why don't you give us some more detail about your exact position at ACA International?
Sure. My title is a compliance analyst, and I've been with ACA for about 12 years. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and a minor in economics and a paralegal certificate. I came to ACA out of an interest, seemed like a lot of the best opportunities in financial services, and ACA seemed like a dynamic place to work. There was a lot of different aspects of the law I could learn. I accepted the position, and I've been here ever since.
That's an impressive tenure that you've been with the ACA International. What has kept you at ACA International for so long?
Well, I have a lot of variety of responsibilities. My job duties have grown over the years. That's kept work interesting for me. We work on various aspects of the law, both federal and state law, so there's a lot of interesting new things to learn. It's been a great opportunity for me, and just really haven't felt the need to look for anything else.
That's great. If you could describe a typical day, I know that most days are not typical, but generally, what are some of your regular duties and responsibilities?
Sure. Well, it varies from day to day, of course. I spend a considerable amount of time each day reviewing federal court decisions. Every day I get an email sent to me from a legal database that provides me with the latest case filings from FDCPA, FCRA, and other related case law. And I review those decisions, find out, what impacts our members, and then we may summarize those decisions. If it's an important decision, we'll summarize that and get the information to members, possibly even do a compliance alert or something. That's something that we do pretty much on a daily, weekly basis. I also spend a considerable amount of time researching state law. As members will know, the states are constantly doing things, and that's a challenge for us to stay on top of. So I spend a lot of time researching pending and recently passed legislation, trying to make sure that we're getting the members the information they need. I also update all of our different compliance materials, a guide to state collection laws and practices, guide to the FDCPA, FCRA, TCPA, and other different projects as assigned. In a nutshell, everything that might come across my plate during a given day.
I know I see your name a couple times a week on the morning email from ACA with the latest case law development. How is it that you manage to stay on top of all of the breaking news to help all of the members?
I get a daily email that provides me with some leads on different case law to research. ACA also has an alert system that lets me know about state legislation as it moves through the process to become law, and I monitor those pieces of legislation to make sure that there's anything our members need to know, that it makes its way into our materials. I also review a number of different legal financial law publications on a daily basis. As we like to say in America, the states are the laboratories of democracies. and they certainly live up to that name. We do what we can to make sure that our members are kept abreast of all of that information.
Is there any particular state's law that you think is very unique compared to all of the other states with regard to our industry?
One state that leaps to mind is California. Got their own version of the Rosenthal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. They have special considerations for medical collections, special considerations for purchase debts. They have student loan regulations, and it seems like they're always on the cutting edge of new types of regulations. But each state has its own challenges, I think.
Great. That's a great perspective on that. This year, we've had a lot of developments in our industry. One of the biggest things in the news has been the CFPB's proposed debt collection rules. Is there something that came out in the rules that most surprised you or that you're the most excited about?
Well, I was both surprised and tentatively excited or cautiously optimistic about the limited content message option that they introduced. It would allow debt collectors, subject to some considerations with e-Sign Act, which will be a technical challenge, but it would provide us a means to actually leave a message for consumers that didn't require a debt collector to actually notify that the communication was from a debt collector. Up till now, there really hasn't been any means to do that. Obviously, this is only a proposed law, but assuming that became law, I think that could be advantageous and give us some clarity on a particular issue. Found it interesting that they chose to actually make a call frequency limitation in the law. Not necessarily personally in favor of that, but I do think it was an interesting tack, and I think it may be helpful to at least have some clarity on that issue and some of the other issues they address. What I think members can all agree is that it would be nice to have clear rules to the road, and right now we really don't have that. But just generally, they really did appear to try to give us some clarity on certain things.
I agree with clarity. I think everyone can agree that that's one thing that we're all hopefully looking forward to, that there's more structure going forward for everybody. Is there anything that's a big ticket project that you're working on currently?
We are just in the final stages of completing a massive update to our FDCPA guide. It's also going to include a lot of information on the proposed rule. We've done a pretty deep dive into that and tried to provide as much helpful analysis as we can on various aspects of the rule and give that information so that members can figure out how that might impact them in the future. So I think that our members are going to really love.
So, Andy, how will members be able to obtain the updated FDCPA guide?
Well, we're going to have a digital version of that available, and that'll be something I believe that you can either access through the website or download, have on your device, which you can carry around with you. And we're also going to have print-on-demand versions if you want a hard copy. We should be able to obtain that once it's ready through ACA's website.
That's great. And so everybody here today just got a preview of a wonderful resource that will be coming that everybody will be able to benefit from. So, Andy, also, when you're not at ACA helping us all the time stay on top of all of the breaking news, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I'm a father of 2 children, and I spend a lot of time with them and my wife. We're real outdoorsy people. We like to do a lot of stuff outdoors. We go biking, do quite a bit of fishing. We're in the land of 10,000 lakes here in Minnesota, so we spend a lot of time on the water. I have a small fishing boat that we like to take out. We do some camping, and we also just time together outside, kind of our favorite thing to do.
That sounds nice. Imagine most of it, though, is not during the winter months when I know it can be cold in Minneapolis.
Well, it can be. That is for sure. We have embraced the winter here, though, and we do like some winter sports as well. We do some skiing. I certainly take the kids sledding quite a bit. So we try to get out when we can during those cold winter months.
Those winter months are not for me. But I'm sure the sledding, I'm sure it's fun. Just not for me.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. Finally, is there one thing about yourself that you would like fellow members to know?
My dedication to the success of ACA members. I really enjoy helping our members find the information they need. I like to solve puzzles. I kind of think of the law oftentimes when you're trying to answer a specific legal question as a puzzle. I find it enjoyable to track down the answer and give that to the people who need it. And that's something that makes my job rewarding day in and day out.
Thank you, Andy, so much. It has been great speaking with you today on behalf of the industry. I want to thank you for all that you do for all of the ACA members. I can't say enough. We had a preview today of the updated FDCPA guide. You stay on top of all of the state laws in all 50 states, and all of this helps our members succeed. So again, thank you to Andrew Pavlik for his time today, and I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of getting to know the ACA Compliance Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica and Andrew. The FDCPA Compliance Guide is now available on our website. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to ACA Cast in iTunes or wherever you download your podcast so you'll never miss the show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we appreciate our ratings on iTunes, or simply tell a coworker. That would really help us out. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on ACA Cast.